because it is very difficult. Okay. Hi, friends. Hope you're fine at home and enjoying the social distancing. Being safe is good for yourself and for everybody else. Hi, I'm Jayant, Dean MCS GOC, and with me is Tarun Sharma, Regional Head, CoCubes, with an experience of more than 15 years. He is with you to share the current scenario and post COVID scenario. He will join us in some time. Before that, I'll just start with some basic information about this pandemic, what we are going through, and what exactly it is. Actually, in November 2019, some people started to develop these symptoms of breathlessness and they were admitted to hospital. This information was not shared then by China. It was kept secret and they were treated. What had happened, most laborers around the world had come back home for this Christmas and New Year leave and they were having fun in China but were being infected with a virus called corona. The number was very large, and when they traveled back to their respective places in Europe and America, they were infected. And when they joined their industries of fashion, construction, they infected many more people around the world. These numbers were very large, but because China hid the secrets, people were not aware till it became a pandemic, and WHO was caught back on a back foot. This pandemic caused a lot of economic instability around the world, and the world was not ready, and there was a situation wherein the adjustments were to be made. Since the world was not ready and it was on a shutdown, the economy went down. It was a virtual standstill, and still we are adjusting with the times. This webinar is one in such series wherein we'll discuss about post-pandemic situation. Today we'll talk about employability scenario and the special skills that will be needed in students and what the employers will expect from us to build those employability skills so that the prospective employees are ready to get accommodated in the industry. We have an advantage today. We are the youngest population with robust immunity system. This is an advantage because this coronavirus has affected people in the age group of 65 and above fatally, and most of them have not been able to survive or are still unwell. We being the youngest generation, and India is a robust immune system because we live in a circumstance where we don't maintain good hygiene, but this is a blessing at the moment because this virus has not affected people with robust immunity systems, but this power has come to unskilled, untrained hands. I say unskilled and untrained because we were not ready to take this power, and now we need to remove those and become skilled and trained. So, what is needed to become skilled and trained? What are the basic requirements? It is very important to understand what this virus has done, which are the industries which have been affected. The industries wherein most people used to work together, and the word social distancing is a self-discriminatory because where most people were together, they were working in a group. They have been affected the most, like airlines, wherein people are sitting very close and social distancing cannot be followed. This industry has taken a jolt. Travel and leisure, there is no time or money for that industry to boom because the basics and the priorities have changed. Hotels and restaurants is a linked industry again because it will take time for this industry to revive. People are scared, they're insecure, they don't want to travel out, they don't want to eat outside, they want everything to be cooked at home or to be served at home. Filmmaking and cinema halls, again, an industry wherein more people used to work together, they used to sit under one roof and watch cinema, has taken a jolt. Events, marriages, all these industries have taken a jolt. So, what is needed? We need to work The unit operations have to move out of the industry, they have to be separated, and people have to do it from the comforts of their home. And then they have to combine, collaborate, and then the industry should be fed, and it has to work in that direction. There are some industries, which have boomed or not taken much of an impact, like medical and hygiene industry, immunity boosters, people who are manufacturing, companies like Hamdard, who have been manufacturing immunity boosters. They have, gone on a high. Their shares have increased. Plus, their market share is increasing every day. The sanitizer, it has become a new word in everybody's life. You cannot survive without a sanitizer today. There's an insecurity everywhere. It is like a psychic experience. We need to, wipe our hands again and again and then move ahead. Online education. This was a booming industry, and now again things have started to show that this industry is there to stay, because the best tutors around the world can be part of the education system without being actually present in the physical class. So this is one industry which was on a rise and will move much faster ahead. Shopping platforms like Amazon, they were already a booming industry. Flipkart, Amazon, they will they will grow, keep growing, and it is now more of a necessity. Delivery platforms, now the products have to move out from these virtual markets to your home, so a delivery platform is needed. So delivery platform business is very essential, and now it's a booming business. It will become more organized, and there are a lot of big multinational companies, entering this scenario. And the insurance company, of course. Insurance is now an urgency, because life is in a stage wherein you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. And insurance was always this business to secure your family against what could happen tomorrow. So these industries, they will keep booming, and the scenarios will shift towards them. Now, the question arises, what are we doing? We at MCS GOC are constantly working for our students to be employable, to have those special skills wherein they are wanted by the industry. Our back track record has been showing that under the dynamic leadership of our chairman, Dr. MC Saxena, a world renowned eminent scientist who has always showed us the way that staying ahead, working together is always a strength. He again came to the scene and asked us to make some collaborations. Today, on 26th of May 2020, we have collaborated with more than 50 manufacturing units around the country for live training sessions, wherein experts will tell you guys about the machines and their functionality. So virtually you'll be sitting at home, watching the manufacturing process, knowing about those machineries, what they are doing, and how they are transforming the products. Under the leadership of our chairman, 50 such tie-ups have already taken place, they are in place, and many more to come. Around 25 new special softwares for designing medical flow and manufacturing are being purchased by the group. We are ahead of times, and we'll always remain ahead of times. Small unit operations like designing, repairing on modules. Now you know it is very difficult for the technicians, mechanics, and plumbers to come home. So what we have planned a self-help group wherein we'll be teaching the householders how to repair these things online. And this is one such initiative which we have taken to cope up with this pandemic. Preparing these students for online examinations and especially interviews is on the top of the list, wherein the final year students this year will go through a special training program on what will happen, because most of the interviews this year will take place online, not like it used to happen in the past. So we have planned these scenarios for our students to be ahead of times. Now we know that the supply chain is affected, and now it's the biggest challenge is to connect between the manufacturer and the consumer. All the efforts around the world is being happening for this connection to be in place. We are also using our data bank technologies. We are developing the platform or trying to work on the existing platform to use the digital technology the maximum. We at MCS GOC have a special group of people, experts from the industry, under the guidance of our chairman, wherein we are collecting the data bank and like a barter system, writing down the things which are available with the people and what we have got and connecting with both the people. Because now solving the problems locally will be the top priority. It is not possible to import things around the world, and immediately it is impossible for the industry to start manufacturing. So the best possible scenario is we collect small things which are available with everyone and assemble it and form a machinery. For this, a huge data is required, and we are working on that with the help of these experts. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tarun Sharma, who has an experience of more than 15 years. In the current scenario, he is a young and dynamic head of his organization, worked with many students and the employers. He knows the exact scenario and what is needed. I am sure next few minutes will be very helpful for you in your career. Over to you, Tarun.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jayant Kishore, for such a nice introduction. All right. First of all, I congratulate Dr. MC Saxena Group of Institutions for taking such a nice initiative to train students differently, to set up the labs for these students, to introduce different kind of trainings at this point in time. All right, guys. So, hello, good afternoon, Shabba Khair to everyone. This is Tarun Sharma, and in short, I'm a storyteller. Okay, and in these 20-15 minutes, okay, so I'm gonna share a couple of very interesting stories with all of you, and I'm sure each one of you will be able to relate with it. Whether you plan your first job starting this July, whether you are about to leave for abroad or for any different destination for your education, or even the guys who are already working in some or the other organization, right? You actually were expecting a good increment this year, all right? But what happened, right? We don't even know, right? That this unprecedented situation has arisen, and this has given us a golden opportunity. I'm sure you open any television, you go to any YouTube channel, you look at newses, you look at anything, a lot of negativity is there. And I'm sure our mind is really attracted towards those negativities. But I would really suggest to each one of you, right, to take a pause and look around, right? The things have changed, and there is a very important positive sign about the new opportunities. Okay, now, guys, you know, I would like to share the experience of my first air travel, and I'm sure that you can actually relate to this story. When I started that air travel, right, it was very unlike of doing, is in a bus travel or a train travel, right? The moment I was getting closer to the aircraft, I was getting nervous. Okay, I was not aware what's gonna happen. Okay, and then I realized that this nervousness is pretty genuine because that's the first experience. Similarly, in these COVID scenarios, right, a lot of young folks don't even know that's what's happening and what's going to happen. Okay, let me just connect again with the story. So the moment I entered the aircraft, right, I saw a different environment. I saw different people, right. The moment I was about to take off, right, I very carefully listened to the instructions which were delivered by the air hostess, right, all the security advices. But the moment the engine got started and I could feel that thrill of that power, right, I got more nervous. All right. And let me tell you guys, in those nervousness times, I realized that few guys are really chilling out. Few guys are sitting comfortably. Few guys are munching something or the other. Few guys are reading some book, right? And I was nervous, right? And I was very nervous. But this was pretty normal to them. Some people were busy making friends, right? Some people were, watching some or the other content on the mobile or the laptop or any device they were having, right? And then I realized one important thing, that what can I do? What all scenarios are under my control and what all scenarios are beyond my controls, right? The moment the flight took off, right, I tried to stabilize and I tried to, cope up with and I was trying to show everyone that, hey, I'm not nervous. It's not the first time I'm traveling, but somehow the air hostess could figure it out and she walked up to me and said, uh, can I help you? I said, no, no, thank you. I just need a glass of water. All right, she helped me with that. Now, what happened? The moment the flight was almost 10-15 minutes in the air, okay, I could feel some turbulence. Yes, guys, in the very first flight, I very categorically know from Delhi to Chennai, right? It was a strong gush of wind or some kind of turbulence. And then the kind of situation I was into, I just can't explain. Okay. Then I realized, I took a deep breath, okay, and I realized that, hey, Tarun, it's fine, right? I can't do anything about any external factor, okay? I can't stop that gush of wind. I can't stop any turbulence. What I can do is make peace with myself, okay? And that's what I did. And in that journey of 2 hour and 20 minutes, I just learned, right, that I can only control the things around me, okay? And now I'm coming back to the topic which we have today, is post pandemic, the opportunities and the challenges. Let me tell you guys, everybody is talking about challenges, everybody is talking about layoffs, right? But in these times, as I told you, I'm gonna some interesting stories with you. Nobody, actually nobody is talking about those brighter opportunities or those brighter spots where this young generation, yes guys, I'm talking to you, this young generation can find out that, the things could go upside down, right? And let me tell you guys one very, very important data point, that 57% of today's Fortune 500 companies, guys, listen to me very, very carefully, okay? 57% of today's Fortune 500 companies were exactly founded in the time of recessions, or in the bearish bull market, or the stock markets were crashed, right? And if I ask today, who knows about Apple? I think 80% of 90% you will raise your hand. If I talk about General Electric, right, you will raise your hand. Yeah, I've heard this brand name. Even if I talk about FedEx, right? But most importantly, here I would like to talk about Disney. And I'm so sure that each one of us can relate to those Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, right? And those times where we used to enjoy those Disney characters, right? Let me tell you guys, Disney last year, right, had a revenue of $69.7 billion, right? A company which meagerly started in 1928 and 1929, right? And you know what? What happened that point in time? This pandemic is nothing. Trust to me, guys, this pandemic is nothing as of yet, right? We are past 70 days, almost 70 days. But there was a time in the US markets that for 16 months, there was 40% degradation in the business needs, in the production, in the jobs, in each and everything, right? And there, this company decided to bring that smile back to the US. Trust me, guys. If you don't know about it, go read about it. And I'm telling you, there are two important terms. Okay, one is the Black Thursday, and second is the Black Tuesday. Right? Let me tell you quickly about what was Black Thursday and Black Tuesday. Black Thursday was the time where the one single day, right, the most number of shares were traded in a market. Right, that was 12.4 billion, 12.4 million shares. Right, and the Black Tuesday, what even worse, right? 16 million shares actually crashed that particular day. And in those kind of depression, imagine guys that you were saving, you were stacking up some amount of your salary, some amount of your investment, something you got out of nowhere, or something you got out of your promotion or the increment, right? And you saved that money in some or the other fund or in some of the other stocks, right? And all of a sudden, one fine day, you get to know that they are just a piece of papers. There is no validity, there is no financial attached to that investment, right? How depressed that country would have been, right? But Disney took this challenge and actually introduced their first feature film, which was about the seven dwarfs, and we all know Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right? That movie was the first feature movie introduced by Disney in those tough times. And trust me, guys, that moment you were started to smile back. And what was happening just before that? It was the time of total depression. And in India and in globe, we are actually seeing that time right now. All right, guys, I just want to tell you that what is important in terms of employment sector. Okay, what will change, right? Will the entire sector will vanish? Will the companies shut down? Will such kind of things will happen? Maybe, maybe not. But what will happen for sure is the way you look at your job will change, right? The way you look at your plannings will definitely change. The way you spend your investments or your savings, right, will definitely change, right? And what is gonna change? The most important thing which is gonna change is your learnability. Trust me, guys, this learnability is the only constant I'm listening for last 15 years of my life. The moment I started my career, right? Since then, there is one constant thing, and which is learnability. Companies look forward to the people who can really learn faster than the others, right? They don't care about that whether you are the topper of the batch, right? Whether you are the bottom one, right? They simply care about one single thing, that how fast can you learn. All right. And guys, after this webinar or during this webinar, I'm going to share a couple of very, very important links with all of you, which will actually clear this myth of learning. Okay. A lot of people think I was learning for all my life. Sorry, guys, you were studying for all your life. You were completing your assignments. You were doing your homework, right? You were opening your books and you were studying. You were reading. You were writing. You were not learning, right? This is the time to learn. Okay. What this time has told us is that if you look around us, right, there is a lot of positive things, right? You are at home. You could now pursue things which you always wanted to, right? You, if I talk about hobbies, yeah, you hardly had a time to go about it, right? And I'm saying बहुत बार मैंने ऐसा notice किया है, and I'm just addressing each and every student out there, and I can see some request that if I can add some part of Hindi for sure, very very proudly I can introduce Hindi as well. So दोस्तों जो बहुत important चीज मैंने अपनी इस लाइफ में सीखी है वो है that how you look at a thing or how you look at a situation, that is very very important. Trust me, guys. I can share with you, that when I was, reading about a particular topic, then I figured it out that this entire scenario, right, this entire negativity, right, which is around us, we get into it and we stop exploring new possibilities, right? We really get stuck into this, okay? And either we are thinking about the past or either we are thinking about the future. But what about the present, right? And that is the most important time. आपका सबसे important समय आज है, right? और सबसे ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण ये है कि आप आज क्या कर रहे हो, right? Trust me, if I talk about myself, मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि कोई भी नई स्किल सीखने के लिए मुझे बहुत सारे महीने लगेंगे, मुझे शायद कुछ साल लग जाएं. But guys, let me tell you, I was watching a TED talk and I got to learn, right? सिर्फ 20 घंटे. Trust me, guys, सिर्फ 20 घंटे इनफ है किसी भी नई स्किल को जीरो से और एक सर्टेन लेवल तक समझने के लिए या सीखने के लिए, right? Trust me, guys, it might sound unrealistic to all of you, right? But this is true, and I can prove that. All right. One more thing, when we talk to the companies, okay, these companies tells us that different students have different aspirations, right? सबकी अलग इच्छाएं हैं, सबकी अलग विशेष हैं, राइट? सबकी अलग कैपेबिलिटीज हैं, राइट? और हो सकता है कि इस वेबिनार में हो सकता है हम सारे स्टूडेंट्स की विशेष को एड्रेस ना भी कर पाए, बट जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जो मुझे समझ में आती है कि यू हैव टू replan, you have to reinstate your wishes, right? Your targets, you have to redesign, right? You have to redesign everything. And when I say everything, it's not that you have to redesign the way you sleep, the way you wake up, the way you eat food. Sorry, I am talking about aspirations, right? You have to just align your aspiration. Let me take an example. I was talking to a student fine day, okay, and then student said, you know what, मेरा प्लान था कि मैं इस बार जॉर्जिया में जाके किसी अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लूंगा और वहां से मैं वर्ल्ड क्लास कोर्स परस्यू करूंगा. Then I figured it out. Valid point, but why don't you do one thing? Look, go online, look for that same university, look for a better course. Now you can learn sitting at home, right? Unless आप घर से मस्ती के लिए जाना चाहते थे दूर, या to fulfill your wishes that thank God after this 12th or after this all this graduation time I'll be able to move around the globe and I'll be having all what I wanted, right? Agar wo plans the, so of course for that you have to wait. But if you wanted to learn, if the idea was to learn, if the idea was to earn, right, everything is here. Trust me, guys, the platform like Upgrad or whatnot, right, they are upskilling you sitting at home, right? The edutech sector, the banking and finance sector, right? Let me tell you about a couple of more sectors, which are actually even the IT sector, right? Given that we are seeing a lot of layoffs across the sectors, but IT sector has only seen 60,000 jobs cut as of yet. All right. And trust me, guys, this number might bounce back in this year, right? Or the next batches to come. And that is the proven data, right? I agree that hospitality might go for a toss, right? Or tourism might go for a toss, but it is all right. It is fine. The blessing is that you are safe, you are at your home, and you can actually learn a lot of things. All right. One important example I also want to put here is about the company HP, or let's say about the company General Motors, right? All these companies, okay, all these companies built their empire, or they started thinking about this bigger opportunity in these tough times. So guys, one good thing is that there are bad times, and one bad thing is that there are bad times. Okay, imagine if you were in 1928 or 1929 or even 1970s or 1975, where Apple and Microsoft were born. Okay, so imagine in today's pandemic, some or the other Apple, some or the other Microsoft, some or the other General Electric is in making, right? The people are thinking about it. Okay, the people are discussing those ideas, right? So I think I would like to really clear this myth out of your mind कि सब कुछ upside down change हो जाएगा, सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा. Guys, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला है. It is like a pause. And here I would love to share an analogy with you. Okay, imagine, guys, God forbid, tomorrow I meet an accident. Okay, what will I do? I'm bedridden. A doctor has suggested me to just stay at home, just take care of myself, and become better over 3-4 months. Now what happens? Does my life stops? No. But is my life at pause? Yes. So the economy, the things around you are at pause. They have not stopped. They have not vanished. They have not gone anywhere. Okay. It is just about a pause. And interestingly, in those 2 to 3 months when I am on a bed rest, what matters is how I'm utilizing my time. Trust me, guys, if this was a normal year like 2019, most of the young graduates must be traveling at this point in time. Okay, because in general the examinations happen in the month of June, and right from February, March, April, May, right, each and every candidate in this country travels to either 5 different cities for an interview. They travel to their campuses for multiple job fairs. They travel to a lot of different places. All right, now let me help you understand, guys. If you are not traveling, what blessing do you have? You are saving out on a lot of money which you might have spent, right? But how to utilize that money? In my last webinar, I actually addressed this issue that today, and in the time where the things are tough, people think of saving. Agreed, you must save, but at the same time, you have to invest. Okay, and where you have to invest? Now, most of your interviews, most of your assessments, and most of your processes are happening online, right? So where should a student invest in these tough times is your IT infrastructure. You yourself has got your IT infrastructure, right? And what that infrastructure is: a good webcam, a good earpiece, a good mic, a good device, right? Couple of good softwares, right? Which can actually take you through a seamless experience while you are actually appearing for any process out there. So this is a kind of very important, minute, but as I told you, very critical investment for youngsters to make, right? Let me help you guys. This human race have a tendency to adapt to anything in this universe. Okay, let's talk about our uncles, our fathers, our known people, right? From the banking and the railway sectors. Those people were habitual of working day in and day out on the registers, using the pens, using the Rotomac or the Renault pens, right? And just doing the job. All right, what happened when government or this ecosystem asked them, right, to actually shift everything from paper to computer, right? If those people can learn, right, why can't we learn, right? I'm sure it took time, they made mistakes, I agree, you will also make some mistakes, but it is perfectly fine. Okay, guys, this time is a golden opportunity for each one of you. Okay, I can also talk about challenges, but I'm saying you for that I think you don't need my time. Okay, you talk to anybody out there, he will tell you, oh my god, मैंने तो plot लिया था, उसका price ये हो गया, oh my god, मैंने ये machine ली थी, ये. See, there are 100,000 examples, okay, where you can actually attract negativity, right? But here I'm there to tell you that nothing upside down is happening. Trust me, after this pause, right, things will come back to normal. Little late, of course, yes, right? But if someone's gonna ask, हे भगवान, मैंने तो 4 साल की बीटेक कंप्यूटर साइंस में कर ली, या फिर मैंने 4 साल तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कम्युनिकेशन में लगा दिए, it is perfectly fine. And yeah, by the way, I can also address those students who might fall into either of categories. One, who has already got a job, जिसने ऑलरेडी मिठाई बांट दी है कि चलो भाई मेरी नौकरी लग चुकी है, राइट? या फिर वो कैंडिडेट जो बस 5 इंटरव्यू देके आया था और छठे में उसको लग रहा था कि यहाँ शायद मेरा चांस है और ये वाली जॉब मेरी है, और उसके बाद लॉकडाउन हो गया और वो उस इंटरव्यू के लिए जा ही नहीं पाया, राइट? So there can be a few students who are yet waiting for their first job letter. At the other end, there are students who are waiting for their joinings. Okay, now what? The good thing is, you know that your joining is deferred, and the bad thing is, you know that the joining is deferred. Now this indicates two things. One, the skills you possessed to acquire that job might not be needed, right, after a certain point in time. So what in this 2 3 months 4 months time, what will I do? I'll actually go and learn 5 different things. Trust me, guys, I'm one of those quick learners, right, who started, uh, reading in these times. I was not a reader anymore previously because I had an excuse, and I think my excuse was valid because I used to travel 18 days in a month, right? And I always had this excuse: I can't focus on my fitness, I can't focus on my hobby, I can't ever read, right? But trust you me, guys, the moment I got this opportunity, the moment I met this lockdown, somehow I developed all those things. One more important example, and that's a live example, where I can connect these layoffs versus the worry of a student. Then I'm sure that you got to know about the Swiggy laying off 1100 people. Uber on a 3-minute call actually gave exit to 3100 employees globally, right? Great, understood. But are these companies shutting down? That's a great myth, guys. These companies are restructuring themselves. These companies are trying to cope up with what is new required, or where they have to invest whatever money they have got today. Trust me, guys, दो तरह की कंपनीज को मैं बहुत अच्छे से जानता हूँ, राइट? एक वो कंपनीज होते हैं जो सोचते हैं, ओ माय गॉड, एवरीथिंग इज चीप, राइट, लेट्स बाय everything around it and spend your savings, right? But there are another kind of organizations or companies or people, right? They say, fine, this is a tough time, I will look at my 10 expenditures, and I will chunk, or I will shunt out those 5 expenditures which are not so critical. but are important, right? And I will use that money in some or the other important infrastructure or investment or anything which can upgrade myself or can upgrade my organization. Trust me, guys, these company leaders are not fools. Okay, it never is the idea, okay, you know what, let's fire people in this time, okay, and once after 6 months they will not be having job, we'll go and hire them. Sorry, that analogy doesn't work, that strategy doesn't work. And all the best of the organizations in this universe, right, are known for persistence. Okay, persistence is the key for all these organizations all throughout, right? आपका संयम, आपका आपका सब्र, right? ये आपकी धरोहर है इस टाइम में. And my strong advice to each student out there is just stay patient, stay calm, right? Make a list of a lot of things which you always wanted to do, right? And stop worrying. Trust me, guys, I'm looking at each one of you and I'm saying, stop worrying. Okay, these factors are beyond your control, right? Like I was sitting in the flight, right, and the gush of wind or the skills of the pilots, right, were absolutely beyond my skills. I don't know that when the vaccine will come, it even if the earliest it comes, it might take a year or two, and we'll go and stand up in the queues and we'll take the vaccine and we will all be sorted. But till then, you have to be really patient. Okay, guys, one more thing I want to address for especially those candidates who are yet to secure a job. Okay, my special advice to all of you is, I'm sure most of you, right, and that the data says that 90% of the students by by the end of their 8th semester get exposed to minimum, and that minimum is the average, to 8 to 10 job opportunities. Listen to me very carefully again, right? On an average, each and every passing out graduate meets or gets 8 to 10 job opportunities, right? And some of them actually crack 5 of them, some of them actually crack 1 out of them, and some of them doesn't even crack one. Okay, so think about each and every process you set for. Make a list what silly and very small mistakes you did. Okay, think about what went wrong, right? Why an average candidate than you, okay, could actually get that job. ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि आपको लग रहा था कि वो आपका दिन है, आप ज्यादा बेटर हो, आप ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट लग रहे हो, आपको आपको सारे सवाल आते थे, राइट? आप इंटरव्यू के माइंडसेट को अच्छा पढ़ पाए, बट स्टिल आपको वो जॉब नहीं मिली, बट आपके बाजू वाले दोस्त को, या दैट कंपनी एक्चुअली हायर्ड 100 other candidates in different campuses at the same point in time. Make a list of those, pointers, right? Work on them and make sure whenever you are appearing for your next opportunity, right, you are actually killing it. आपका कंट्रोल है उन सब चीजों पे, राइट, जो गलतियां आपने पास्ट में की. गाइस, मैं एक और स्टडी पढ़ रहा था about the young player Djokovic, okay, which is the famous and one of the top 1 and 2 tennis player, and what, हम सबको कई बार लगता है बेहतर इंसान बेहतर इसलिए है, बेहतर खिलाड़ी बेहतर खिलाड़ी इसलिए है क्योंकि वो सबसे अच्छा है, क्योंकि वो सबसे अच्छा खेलता है, क्योंकि वो अपना 100% देता है, राइट? विराट कोहली शायद अपना 100% देता है, सचिन जब खेलता था तो अपना 100% देता था, शायद वो इसलिए बेस्ट है. एंड गाइस, लेट मी ब्रेक वन मोर मिथ हियर फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. ओके, एक अच्छा खिलाड़ी या एक सर्वोत्तम खिलाड़ी वो नहीं है जो हर बार अपना 100% देता है, राइट? This is about doing less mistakes every time. Guys, listen to me again. This is about making less mistakes than the last time. It means जोकोविक की अगर आप लाइफ हिस्ट्री उठा के अगर देखोगे, या किसी भी खिलाड़ी की, आप कोई भी वर्ल्ड का बेस्ट प्लेयर ले लीजिए, वेदर फ्रॉम बास्केटबॉल, वेदर फ्रॉम क्रिकेट, और वेदर फ्रॉम टेनिस और बैडमिंटन और हॉकी और एनीवन, right? If you will look at the life cycle of any world class player, you will get to learn and you will observe that the same mistakes they were making 5 years back, they are not making today, right? Today they might be making some new mistakes, right? But actually they are not making the previous mistakes. And this is very important. Djokovic actually became the #1 player because he actually improved 8%. Guys, from 49% of better shots, he actually went to 57% better shots. It means to win a game, अगर उसे एक गेम जीतने के लिए अगर उसे शॉट्स 100 शॉट्स खेलने थे, राइट, और पिछले बार अगर पिछले गेम में या पिछले टूर्नामेंट में या पिछली रैंकिंग में या पिछले विंबलडन फाइनल में या पिछले ऑस्ट्रेलियन ओपन फाइनल में अगर उसे 100 शॉट्स खेलने थे और उसने सिर्फ 49 अच्छे शॉट्स खेले थे, right, then he either lost or either he won, right? But when he became the number one, right, he actually improved 8%. It means उसने सिर्फ इस बार 8 कम खराब शॉट खेले थे to become the number one champion or the number one player. Guys, actually this is true. हमें हर बार लगता है कि मुझे शायद 100% होना पड़ेगा, तब जाके शायद मैं अपना बेस्ट कर पाऊंगा, तभी शायद कंपनी मुझे हायर करेंगी, तभी शायद मैं एक बेस्ट चॉइस बन पाऊंगा. सॉरी गाइस, दैट्स नॉट ट्रू. The truth is, only try to make less mistakes. And the second advice is try to learn how to learn. Yes, you heard it right. Try to learn how to learn. And guys, in just a second, okay, I'm actually going to share one important link with all of you, and that is about what I just said, that how actually you can make yourself learn. Okay, and I'm just requesting the host to just share this link with the people, okay, who are watching us, who are listening to us. Okay, guys, go to this link, watch this TED talk, and the myths which I was talking about, you will simply break them for yourself. Okay, learning is not rocket science. Okay, learning is just a 20 hours matter. That is what it is, that is what it takes. Okay, so guys, once again, I just want to summarize what I said. Okay, one, are there challenges? Yes, there are. Are there opportunities? There are plenty. All right, and as I said, the most successful Fortune 500 companies, right, like Apple, like Microsoft, like Disney, like GE, like FedEx, like General Motors, right? All these companies were founded in these tough times, okay? And they actually changed the economy upside down, okay? Even we can talk about the companies like Airbnb and Uber. They were founded in 2008 and 9, all right, and I'm telling you guys, if you know, 2008 and 9 was again a big banking sector failure, right, and a great recession. What I'm trying to tell you guys is don't worry about past, don't worry about future, focus on yourself, right? The best thing you have for yourself is this time. What you are going to do in this time is gonna stay with you, and you will, and trust you me guys, after 5 6 years or 8 years or 10 years down the line, this pandemic episode will just be a chapter in your life. It's not gonna stay forever. Okay, so stay positive, right, and keep learning. That is what it is. And now I would like to open the house for the questions. And yeah, here we go. Jayant, over to you.
Thank you so much, Tarunji, for those positive words and motivating for the future. It was really an enlightening experience. And मैं भी एक बार कंक्लूड करता हूँ ये कहते हुए और समराइज भी करता हूँ, जैसे तरुण जी ने बोला कि इंडस्ट्री में बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में ना बात करते हुए हम अपॉर्चुनिटीज के बारे में बात करें और छोटी छोटी इंक्रीमेंटल इंप्रूवमेंट्स करें अपने अंदर, जिससे कि हम इंडस्ट्री के लिए फिट बन सकें. और जैसा कि मैंने बताया, at MCS GOC we are always trying for those little improvements with little efforts, but a great impact which they will make on your future and the industry. And guys, now we are open for question and answer session, and you're welcome to ask questions. Tarunji, I think you can answer this question. This is an industry question.
All right. Hey, Ayush, thank you so very much for asking this question, man. And this question is coming to us live from Facebook. That we know that not only US, by the way, Ayush, okay, most of the countries who are known for their world-class manufacturing or the products or the ideas, right? They are in tussle with the country we know for this cause, which is China, right? And trust me, guys, there are 1100 plus companies with which Indian government, the finance ministry, the external affair ministry is talking, and they are actually offering them whatever it takes to set up a plant in India. Okay, now let's be realistic. Okay, I will not talk about all 1100 companies, right? Let me take an example of Apple. Okay, Apple ने just China को hint दिया है कि we want to shift our 20% business away from China. And you know what that 20% means? It is approximately 15 million jobs. If Apple shifts its 20% business from China to any other country like India, Vietnam, Philippines, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, because these are the countries where they would love to set up, where the manpower is agile, where the manpower is aggressive, where the governments are excited, right? The governments are positive about it. Okay, so even the 30% of those 1100 companies agrees to come and set up a plant in India or to explore these opportunity, guys, it's gonna be a sky high kind of a job scenario for India, but not today. Not today. It's very, very important to understand nothing will happen overnight. Okay, we did not reach these many cases overnight, right? There were no 5.5 million cases across the world overnight, right? There were not so much deaths across the world overnight, right? So even when these opportunity will come, they will take some time. But yes, it's absolutely a matter of a great hope, right? That these kind of opportunity will help India. And trust me, guys, next 2 decades belongs to India, and I can vouch for it. And I am also the part of that workforce which is going to rock it. All right. Okay. So the next is, what is the scientific basis of 20 hours? All right. So Kishore has asked a question from YouTube that what is the scientific basis of 20 hours of learning to have basic knowledge? Guys, I have just shared a YouTube link with all of you, which is a TED talk of one of my favorite speaker. Okay, go and watch it. It is approximately a 14-minute video. And if Jayant, if I can request the host to share that link publicly, that would be really nice. Okay, guys, that is a well thought idea. Okay, that you might not become an expert in any field in 20 hours, right? And if you divide those 20 hours look just 20 hours, right? अगर मैं एक दिन देखता हूँ तो 24 घंटे हैं और 20 घंटे तो बस ये रहे, right? But 20 hours is 45 minutes each day for 30 days, right? And this is how it should happen, because learning is a gradual process. You don't read a book in a go, you don't or you don't finish a course in a go, and at the end of 20 hours you say, now I'm ready, right? It takes time. Your mind needs some time. All right, so that's the science and the data on what I said is right there in that link. Okay, we can take the next question. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I'm delighted, and I'm feeling really, really happy that I can see 123 comments, and they says thank you so much for your positive words and motivation, guys. Sorry, it was not motivation. It was a real life, right? I talked about Disney. I talked about Apple. I talked about Microsoft, right? It has all happened for real. Trust me, guys. Okay. Okay. So which sector are hiring and which ones are uh, contracting during or post COVID? Okay, so keep your eye on few positive, news channels or the news updates. Okay, in less than 48 hours, I got to learn that Amazon is going to hire 50,000 people temporarily, and I'm addressing the question to Mr. Shekhar Saxena, right? That a lot of company like Amazon, a lot of company like FedEx, a lot of company who are into logistics or who are into supply chain delivery, right? They are certainly going to hire on contractual basis for now. Okay, and for next 1 and 2 year, guys, be ready for any kind of contractual jobs, because this is the real scenario that companies don't have clarity on any amount of business, right? They don't know that if they made $150 million last year, will they make the same revenue, or will it be up, or will it be down? Down for sure. So it means they are not going to commit you thousands of jobs or a lifetime job or a permanent job. But what they're going to do is, hey, let's work on a win-win situation. Okay, you work for me, I pay you, right? And that is what it is. Okay, so that can bring a lot of contractual jobs. What are the job opportunity for ethical hacker, and in which spectrum? Okay, by the way, hacking doesn't sound ethical anymore, but I got you. Guys, I see in the area of edutech sector, this ethical hacking can work. In the banking and finance sector, the ethical hacking can work, right? And I'm sure if I could, answer more on the technical side of, hacking, I wish. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, as far as my exposure is concerned, right, any or every company is shifting to online, is needing the digital talent. And when you need digital talent, it has to be secured by ethical hacking. That is what I understand from a layman's language, and that's going to work. All right, we can take the next question. Yep. Do you anticipate any changes in hiring process post-pandemic? Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Abhijit, I certainly see a change in hiring process. Earlier, you used to suit up like this and, shine up your shoes, take a taxi or take a school bus or a college bus and reach either your campus or the company premise, right? In both these scenarios, this is going to change, okay? Now, company is going to knock your door, okay, and ask, hey, are you available on Skype? If you're available on Skype, right, I will like to fix a slot for you. And in that slot, we will have a mass, PPT, which we call a pre-placement talk, right? And an HR sitting at home will be delivering not so interesting, but a 15 minutes kind of a PPT talk, right? And as usual, right, you will not be asking any questions in the PPTs, right? So that's not going to change, right? What's going to change is now you don't have to go to your computer labs for any test. Now you don't have to stand in a queue. The queue is over. You will get a link, and then you will click on that link. You will be assessed. Your scores will go to the recruiter. The recruiter will then start a video interview, right? And then you will be offered a job probably in less than 24 hours time, right? So that's going to change for sure. Sir, I'm a computer science student in MCGUC. Please recommend best language on case and also recommend some companies. All right, my friend, आपका प्रश्न बहुत ही descriptive है, okay? But still, मैं attempt लूंगा इस question को करने का, right? क्योंकि मैंने अपने examination में कोई question paper में कोई question नहीं छोड़ा unattended, okay? Unless it's a negative marking, okay? So guys, I think each and every company is a good organization. There's no definition of good organization or a good company, right? I think this is all about perception. Imagine, right? If I take a name of a prestigious company like Capgemini or Cognizant or Accenture, right, or Adobe, and versus I say, hey, you know what? There's a company like Lido. There's a company like Topper. There's a company some scanner code or something. You will say, hey, I don't know these names. मैंने तो कभी नाम ही नहीं सुने. मेरे पापा ने तो कभी मेरी family में कभी ये नाम ही नहीं आया, right? Guys, imagine Accenture भी किसी दिन startup था, Microsoft भी किसी दिन startup था, right? If you find the promoters are good, that's a good company. If you find the Glassdoor rating of that company is good, that's a good company to work. If you figure out, and by the way, guys, one important advice and which is linked to this question, look around you. You have got seniors, you have got cousins, you have got relatives who are working in companies, right? And there are plenty out there, right? Go and establish a connect with these guys, right? Talk to them. भैया आपकी कंपनी में क्या चल रहा है? आपकी कंपनी में policies कैसी हैं, right? if you are a female candidate, right? This is for you. You can talk about women's safety. You can talk about the women-friendly policies. Yeah, you can talk about the post-marriage, policies about a female. If you are conceiving, you are planning a baby or something like that, you can talk about that. What are the maternity policy of that company? If you find them good, that's a good company. That is it. So good companies are all around. All right. Okay. How much job opportunities will be in Kashmir post-pandemic? Oh my God. that's a national question to address. And I think I'm now addressing a question on a news channel now. Guys, whether it is Kashmir, whether it is Telangana, whether it is Andhra Pradesh, or whether it is Delhi NCR, okay, the scope of opportunities depends upon the resources one state possess, right? Let's say Bihar possess a lot of natural resources, so that kind of plant or that kind of opportunity will go there, right? Kashmir possesses a beautiful environment or a different kind of fertility to the companies or the products, then different kind of opportunity can come there, right? A different kind of FMCG sector are still right there in Himachal, which is next to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so the upper parts always have attracted the pharmaceuticals or the FMCG kind of companies, right? So yeah, that kind of opportunity can be there. Just remove the boundaries, right? It's not about boundaries anymore. And guys, I will also advise you to become more agile, because companies are going to look to a guy, okay, who for a time being will say, hey, I'm going to take any challenge. आपको मुझे बेंगलोर भेजना है, आप भेज दो. आपको मुझे मुंबई भेजना है, आप मुझे भेज दो. आपको मुझे नोएडा भेजना है, आप भेज दीजिए. I want to learn, I want to do a job. Okay, anyways, so the next question is, hey, there was a question. Question will be answered in Q&A segment. Occurs. Oh, so congratulations, Alok. He just mentioned, sir, मेरी job कल लग गई है. Wow, that's great. Okay. Okay, someone is asking, if a few companies close, wouldn't there be more opportunities for entrepreneurs? Oh my God, it's a jackpot, right? For all these entrepreneurs, the men with the ideas, that's your time, guys, right? Because you can think through, right? You can devote any amount of peace or any amount of resources. You can talk to endless people. सब घर बैठे, सबसे बात करो जाके, right? सक्सेसफुल लोगों से बात करो, राइट? सक्सेसफुल लोगों को फॉलो करो, उनकी टेक टॉक सुन लो, उनके लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल पे जाके बात करो, उनकी रिसर्च के बारे में पढ़ लो, राइट? दिस इज द टाइम फॉर एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. मैंने बोला था, राइट, कि अगर 1928 1929 में डिज्नी आ सकती है, अगर 1971 में एप्पल आ सकती है, अगर 1975 में माइक्रोसॉफ्ट आ सकती है, और एयरबीएनबी और उबर 2008 2009 में आ सकती हैं, तो गारंटी है कि 2020 में there'll be 10 such Fortune 500 companies. And guys, mark this calendar, 26th May 2020, right? We'll talk in next 10 years time, if we are together, that there will be definitely some Fortune 500 company from these pandemic times, and I guarantee that. Sir, which type of job is available for pharmacy student? Hey, that's little typical on pharmacy side. I'm not so well versed with that particular area, so I wish I will take that question back and I will answer it later to your management. And yeah, Jayant, you wanted to say something?
I will answer this question for Arpit.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, Arpit, this pandemic has created infinite opportunities for pharmacy people, as you know, starting from the sanitizers, immunity boosters, medicines, and everything is revolving around pharma industry, because precaution as well as cure would need guys like you to work in the industry, to manufacture things as entrepreneurs or work on an existing platform with other people have. So companies like Hamdard, who are making immune boosters for more than over 100 years, there are many more companies in the lines who have started to make Amla, Tulsi Ark, and things like that, wherein you can protect yourself by building up a strong immunity, because today it's corona, tomorrow there may be another virus. So it is not the end, it is just the beginning. It is just the beginning of the virus generation. So we have to be prepared, and the best way to be prepared is immunity increase boosters. Number two, if the virus has already infested, then again we need some precautions. Again, pharma industry has a role to play for the lungs to improve its functionality. So I think, yes, most industries would need people like you, and pharma graduates have got good future.
Okay, I want to take this next question from Shashank Yadav. Sir, can you tell me about the job opportunity for the Polytechnic student, because they have got diploma, so company are interested. Guys, this is your time. Trust me, you are always the first choice, because you are the people who expect less and deliver more. Okay, and you are the first choice, even for if it's Maruti, it's John Deere, it's Mahindra, or it's any manufacturing company out there, any motivative company out there. They look for the diplomas in huge numbers, right? And even in these time of pandemics, as the entire manpower has got displaced, right? There are opportunity for you guys. So don't worry, right? And keep focused.
I think, guys,
Okay, someone is requesting one more. Okay, I can't be unfair with that person. Sir, after doing vocational courses from banking, stock, and insurances, thus we can go in marketing sector. So is marketing sector. Okay, Swati. So thank you for asking this question. Any graduate can go and pursue a course in marketing, because of course there are trust me, before pandemic, if there were 100 ways to do marketing, today there are 1 trillion types of ways to do marketing, right? Trust me, right? And if you just Google it, you will find it, a lot of things are there. What you can do is, if you want to shift from one particular exposure, which was the finance, or now you want to shift to marketing, okay, quickly go and learn the basics, do a quick certification in a week's time, right? Try or volunteer yourself with couple of projects to somebody out there, right? And then you will have that confidence, and okay, in the freelance business, I did something good, right? My idea was well accepted by the consumer, by the market, okay, and then probably you can demand whatever you want, right? So definitely there's a way to go. And for girls, certainly, right? In general, let's accept it, girls have got more analytical thinking power than the boys. Okay, so you guys, you people, you women's are much more creative than anyone else. Okay, so I think that's the creativity still lies with you, and marketing needs creativity, so you're good to go. Even my marketing lead is a superwoman, right? She's Abhilasha Hoon. Okay, so yeah, she's a great lady with great ideas and great exposure. Okay, so yeah.
yeah,
All right.
thank you so much,
Okay.
Mr. Tarun. I would like to
I hope we
conclude.
serve the purpose.
Yes, guys. Before I conclude, I would like you guys to subscribe the channel www.mcsgoc.com and like us on the Facebook. And you can, share your remarks and comments there. And it was a pleasure having Mr. Tarun with us today. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Stay
Thank
home,
you.
stay safe. All the best. All right.
Bye-bye.